Good afternoon. I'm Nita Farmer, and we're here for New Knowledge. We want to thank you for coming. I want to introduce Miss Sandy Ratliff as if she needed an introduction. But thank you for Sandy. She's coming to tell us about the iPad, and we all know that she's the guru. So welcome, Miss Sandy.
Thank you. And thanks to those that are watching online. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to send us a note and we'll try to answer those. My objective this afternoon is to kind of share some of the best apps that I use with the iPad. If anyone knows me, I love the iPad and I do everything with the iPad. I have a couple laptops, but they never leave my office because I use the iPad for everything. So what I want to show you is how I use it. Of course, I'm using the iPad as my presentation today, plus I'm using my iPhone as my clicker. I have them synced, and so now I can move around. Now a little advertisement of who I am and who Virginia Community Capital is. If you're not familiar, again, my name is Sandy Ratliff. I'm with Virginia Community Capital. I am the Community Impact Advisor for Southwest Virginia. Virginia Community Capital has been around for close to 12 years, and we're a community development financial institution. We're a nonprofit, but what makes us unique is we have a for-profit bank, and we do everything from different kinds of loans, from real estate, commercial development. We do small business lending. We also have a food program. We do solar energy, so we do all kinds of lending. What makes us different than going to your typical bank is we not only look at the project, but we take a lot of interest in the impact that that's going to make on a community, especially in rural Virginia. And I came on board to lead the New Economy Loan Fund program for the coal-impacted counties of Virginia, which Washington County that we're at today is part of that coal-impacted community. Not only to provide lending, but to provide technical support, technical assistance, where I can sit down and help someone that's wanting to do a business plan, a marketing plan, a strategic plan, helping communities develop programs like, which I'm loving to remain part of the New Knowledge program, and we just finished up the Washington County Business Challenge, so I can continue doing those kind of programs. But we're here in Southwest Virginia. In addition to myself, we have two lenders. One is Cindy Snyder. Cindy is our small business lender. And then we also have Ernie Maddie. And Ernie is our real estate lender. So Virginia Community Capital is serious about Southwest Virginia because they have 3 full-time staff people now stationed in far Southwest Virginia. And we want to help businesses not only start, but primarily help them to grow and help communities thrive. So let's start talking about the iPad. And what I've done is I kind of categorize this presentation on different types of how you can use the iPad. You know, we're going to talk about how do you create flyers, brochures, which if you saw the flyer for today's presentation, that was created on my iPad, and I'll show you the app on that one. How do you develop presentations, which the presentation is being done on the iPad using Keynote, we'll talk about. Another thing that is really growing and helping businesses connect to customers is through video and developing video content, which you can do that on your iPad. Not only can you stream it like what we're doing today, but you can also edit that video, add photos, text, what have you. And now you've got something you can put on your website, you can use in presentations, you can put up on YouTube, your Facebook, however you want to do it, you've got access to it. And then we're always taking pictures, so we want to edit those. Either I want to edit out my sister, my middle sister out of the photo, or what have you. I'm going to show you apps that you can do that with. Don't tell her I said that. And I'll share you a few tips. Now, I will go at your pace. If you have a question, or if I'm going too fast, or there's something specific that you'd like for me to cover, please let me know. Some of the top apps, and I'm going to go through all of these and I've got you a little, everybody should have a sheet that kind of goes over these apps, a little bit more about them, cost, and how to get them. Again, we're going to talk about Pages, Canva, everything from PairPoint to developing videos, YouTube, how do you edit photos, and if you ever had a photo that's too large and you couldn't add it to, maybe you're doing an application or something and there's a limit to the photo size and you've got to shrink that photo. Well, there's an app that allows you to condense the size of that photo so it will go into whatever you're doing. So let's start creating. Now, an app that I have used for years, I'm going to show you, and a few others, but you can actually create, I think, beautiful flyers, content, ads, brochures. You can create a menu, whatever it is, on your iPad. And a lot of people think that the iPad is just for, surfing the internet and getting on Facebook. Well, there's so much. That's a powerful tool that you've got at your fingertips. So Pages. Pages is an Apple product. It is free. All you have to do is part of the iWorks program suite of apps. But you can, it's like a word processor. You could create, actually the cheat sheet that I did today was on Pages. It sort of works like Word, if you're familiar with that. You can create flyers. For me, when I create a flyer, like today's brochure, I need to convert that to a JPEG so that we can put it up on our Facebook page. Well, I can convert that flyer to a PDF, and then there's an app I'll show you where I can convert it to a JPEG so that it's a graphic file. You can have it. One of the things I love about Pages is because it's part of the Apple products, it automatically updates and saves into my iCloud. So if I need to access that document on another device, all I have to do is log into my iCloud account. For example, I may create a flyer in Pages on my iPad, but for whatever reason, I might want to access it on my computer. All I have to do is log on to iCloud.com, put in my credentials, go in there and find the Pages, and then you'll see that flyer, and I can download it onto my computer there, convert it to PDF, convert it to Word. I have options there. And again, this is pretty affordable. Here's some examples of flyers that I've done. Actually, in 2 weeks, the workshop that we'll be doing here on the 18th is on grant writing. And the list of workshops that you've seen us do, I did prepare those in Pages. You can also, sometimes, if you're like me, it's been a busy week and my creative gene has gone out for lunch and I need to figure out, I need to create a new flyer, and I need some hints, some help. You can actually download apps that have templates that will help you in creating a product. For example, there's template for Pages. It is $5.99 and it's got all kinds of templates from flyers to business cards to letter templates, envelopes, labels, and so forth. And you've got that, and all you have to do is then import that into your, pick out the one that you want, and then just download it onto your iPad into Pages. Another one is templates for Pages, $2.50, and it's $2.99, and again it gives you different kinds of templates, so that gives you an option right there. So when you pick out the template that you want, you just click on it and it'll give you an option, how do you want to open it, and then all you do is select copy to Pages, and now that will import that or template into your Pages, and now you're ready to put your logo, your content, and everything up there. If you want to, I can do it live, or I can show you what I've done before. How would you like me to do it? You want me to do one on the fly to create a document? Please. Okay. Hope I don't lose anything. can go to create on pages, or I can just create, if I want to create a report, create a letter. Maybe I am getting ready to send a Dear John letter to CenturyLink. I'm fed up with you. I can do a nice letter. Here's a template, for example. I can go there and I can customize, put my own image on there that I want. That's using old photo booth. Then you just start typing your content, and now you can put in your own customized information, and now you've got a letter that you can save, and then you're ready to send it. You see up there on the top right is those little 3 dots. Now I have options to where I can send it. I can send it as a pages. I can convert it to PDF. I can convert it to Word, RTF, or ePublisher. For example, I might want to convert it to Word. And now I can send it as an email or a text message. Or I can even now open that up in Word and make more changes if I decide I want a Word document. There it is. And I can continue. Will that work for you? Let's say that we want to use one of the templates. And I want to see there's templates for business cards. Hello, come on in. For invitations. I can do certificates, evaluations, envelopes, or I can do letters there. How about I do a poster? Oh, we had to switch it because we had a speaker issue and we had to flop it. So we're going to create a flyer, and this is using the templates for pages. Let's see, I'm trying to decide what I want. You pick one that you want, and you see here it came up and says copy to pages. And now there is my template that I can start now developing that flyer and making changes. I can change the background and put my own picture on it. I can keep adding information that I want. I can take off graphics if I want. But that's how you can now use templates if you've got that. You're hitting that wall and you can't. Your creative gene's gone. Now you've got something to work with. Now when you're finished, by the way, you can give it a name. If I could type. And now I can send that and share that as a PDF or Word and email it out to family and friends from right here. Any questions on that? By the way, there'll be a test afterwards. Now, Pages does give you some templates that you can use, and you can pick the design, but sometimes I want a little bit more, and that's why I purchase those templates online. It's a package. You've got 200 plus that you can select from, all at one price. Did I go too far here? Yeah. Showing you, I've already gone through that. Is there anything in specific that you want me to show you in Pages that you're wanting to do? Is there anything you all want to do that you want to learn about? Speak now. Now, I know everybody in here probably uses Word, right? Well, you can actually have Word app on your iPad. Now, it can be free if you have a 365 account. If not, I think it's $9.99 to purchase Word. But now you can do it, and it works just like your computer. You can create documents. And it's got templates just like you were doing if you were on your computer. And now you just start adding your information. And you'll see the drop downs are just like they would be on your computer, where you can change the text size, the font, draw, insert a picture, add tables to it, just like you would on your desktop. And now you can either invite people to share that document to. I've done that before. If I've created a document on the Word on my iPad, and then all I have to do is invite people, and then they can go on there, connect, and add their content and make changes. And then we keep that running because it's all done in the cloud, and we have that there. Come on. Now, anybody use Google? How about Google Docs? Have you used that? Well, you can have the Google Docs app on your iPad and do it the exact same way that you do on your desktop, where you can create letters, reports, just like you would do on your computer. And now I can save that as a Word. I can email it out just like you would on your desktop. Here's an example of Google Docs. The good thing on this, like I love the Pages because it's on my cloud, is when I'm working on something on my iPad, when I bring it up on my computer or any other device, what I did last is going to show up there, as long as there's been internet and it can upload. You can add photos, again, just like you would do on your desktop. Very powerful. So, just right there in that first content, I'm showing you just what you can do on your iPad versus just looking at it for email and surfing for Facebook. Now I can start creating actual brochures and flyers on it. Now, one of the things I love is when I create something, I want to be able to share it over onto my Facebook and social media accounts. This is an app that I've used for years, which when I create that flyer, I then can convert it to a PDF document, and then when I do that, I can tell it to open that document in PDF to JPEG, and it will convert that. I'll show you what I mean. So there's that document. By the way, how I got there is I want to send a copy, I'll convert it to PDF. And there it is. I want to import it to PDF to JPEG. I just go there and find it. Can you tell I use this a lot? And then I'll tell it that I want to convert it. And there's that document now. It's converted to PDF. And now I can either save it onto my album, to my camera roll. I can import it into my Dropbox or Google, Google Drive. I can do all of that from right there. If I say save it into album, now I go to album, and there's my JPEG that I've created. So now I've not only created that document that I can send in a PDF or a Word template, but now I can export it as a graphic file, and now I can add that to a flyer, a brochure. I can add it to send it out on Twitter, on Facebook, and now I've got something I can do with it. Questions? Anybody ever heard of Canva? Canva, too, is becoming one of my favorites. Canva, you can do it as download the app, or you can go to canva.com on your desktop, and whatever you're doing, I can access them either way, and as they happen. Canva they have a free version, which is what I use because I'm too cheap, but they also have a $12.95 a month program that gives you a whole lot more features, but this works for me. And I'm just going to show you on the app. If you haven't seen this before, I think you'll fall in love with it. So when you open it up, by the way, you have to set up an account, but I want to create, let's say, an invitation. It will give you tons and tons of templates that you can select from. So you just pick the one that you want. Now there, I've started it, and I can give it a name. I can upload my own photos if I want. Slow. Put it right in there. What did I do?
Not your computer. Sorry. It's
That's
the
okay.
editor in me, I can't help.
I was trying to think of the date. And then you fix it the way you want it, and now I have the option of downloading that as a PDF or downloading it as an image. And that's how hard it is, and it's free to use.
What's the difference between the free version and the $12.95 a month version?
The $12.95 gives you a few more powerful editing features, and also you have access to more templates. If you use it a lot, you'll see sometimes that there's a fee on maybe a graphic that you incorporate in it or one of those templates. With that, all that's incorporated into it. But I have found it does everything that I need on the free version.
So you get a lot of different fonts, I see.
Oh yeah, all kinds of stuff. I can add text. I can add fancy stuff to it. So it's all that graphic is already made up for you. And if I mess up, all I have to do is go up there and tell it to undo what I just did. You can also change the background depending on what it is. You can change the layout. If I don't like this layout, I can start with something else. Does that help? Any other questions on Canva? again, I can download it as a PDF or image format. And now I have something I can just put right up onto my social media channels. I have a graphic that I can add to my website. If I'm doing a flyer, I can just send it to my printer, and now I've got it. It's really easy and cool. Any other questions on developing flyers? Y'all awful quiet. Anybody have to do presentations? Well, I do them almost on a weekly basis. And I have found the iPad to be my best friend in doing it because it's easy for me. If I have an idea on that slide, I can go ahead and add to it. Plus, all I have to do is hook it up to the projector, my iPad, and now I can present that presentation. One that I have used since I guess I got my first iPad way back in the day is Keynote. Keynote is extremely powerful when it comes to developing a presentation. It's another one that's free, and it's part of the iWorks suite of apps on Apple. You can add animation right to your presentation. You can make you a presentation that's a looping presentation, and you can put music in the background. So if you're doing an event, maybe at a fair or when you're doing a book program, and you want to have samples of covers that you've done, you can have that playing on your table, and people can come up and you can show them. Here's an example, and have, again, cool music and information stuff popping in and out of it, right on your iPad. And again, as I work on it, it will automatically save. And again, if you can't figure out that creative gene's gone, there's templates that you can use for Keynote. There's templates for Keynote for $2.99 that you have all kinds of examples. You find the presentation format that you want, and then you open it up just like we did on Pages. There's another one called Templates for Keynote. Yes, they are a little expensive, but if you're like me and you do a lot, it's worth it, because it can take you an hour sitting in front of your computer sometimes trying to figure out how I want to lay this out. It helps when somebody's already figured out the colors and how I want the bullets to look and work. Here's an example when you're wanting to create a presentation. If you don't mind, I won't do it right on Keynote today because I don't want to mess up where we're at. But all you have to do is go up there and hit the plus. And again, find the template that you want on Keynote, or you can design it, bring in one of the others, import it from templates from Keynote, and now you can start creating. You can change, just like you would do on PairPoint, you can change the layout of that specific page, add notes, change the settings. You want to change the background however you want it. You can also, once you finish it, you can convert that to a PDF or PowerPoint to show to someone. And I've done that before working with other agencies. They don't use Keynotes, they use PowerPoint. And what I have to do is, when I'm finished doing my part, is I just send it to them. I tell it to change the format to PowerPoint. And then when I send it to them, it'll be in a PowerPoint. And now they can open it up and make changes to it. Now, another thing that you can do is add video. Again, if you're wanting to do a looping presentation, you might want to add a video that plays in the background. And that's really easy to do. Again, you can make it looping where it goes back and forth. It'll start on tap, in this case here. Don't know why my sound's not working. Odd. But anyway, this was I bet it's where it's hooked into projector. That's why it's not going on.
You can turn the sound up on the projector. No, your radio's not playing.
Programs that make all
not leave their business.
There, you've got a video playing in the background of your presentation. Now, who uses PowerPoint? You can have the PowerPoint app on your iPad, and it works just like it does on your desktop. You'll see this is the tabs that you can select from, just like you would on your desktop. Adds pictures, take pictures right on your device, but you can't easily do that on your computer, which makes it even more powerful. Add videos to it. Change the colors, the transitions, add animation. Again, you can do all of that just like you would do on your PowerPoint. It's an example of adding transitions, animation to it. And then once I've finished with it, I can invite people to share that, or they can add their slides to it or make changes. And now we can keep it all up to date, or I can just send a copy and start sharing it that way. Any questions? Yes?
The benefit of Keynote over PowerPoint. Why do you prefer Keynote?
Because on PowerPoint, I've got to have a 365 account.
Okay.
So if I don't have one existing, that's going to cost me $9.99 to have it. So Keynote's free. And personally, I think it's easier. It's got more animations and it's more user-friendly, and I can do better with this finger than using a mouse sometimes when I'm going back and forth. But that's just preference for me. And I like, if I'm doing a presentation, I've got everything synced, and I can use my iPhone as my clicker to go back and forth.
You can't do that on the PowerPoint?
Mm-mm. No. Anybody ever use Google Slides? And of course, Google has an app for the iPad. It's free, where you can create presentations and also share with coworkers and friends, and they can make their changes. I love it too because I can go between machines. I can do it on my computer, and then I can finish it up on my iPad. However, even on my iPhone, it's an Apple, I can do it. And again, it's got templates that you can use. And again, it's really easy to create, just like it would on your desktop. You've got different samples that you can use. But that's basically Google Slides. Now, if you are doing presentations, you've got to figure out a way how I'm going to take this from my computer, or from my iPad, and show it up on the screen. So that means you're going to have some accessories, or you're going to have to go to Plan B, convert it to a PowerPoint and use it on a computer, or if you have a Mac, but you're still going to have to be able to put it up on the screen, which means you're going to have an accessory, which will allow me to hook up the projector onto my iPad and be able to show it from there. Today I'm using the AV adapter, which has got an HDMI connection to it. Now that's cool too, this adapter. If you've got a TV at home that has an HDMI port, you can just plug your iPad into that and be able to show it up on the screen, your iPad. Or if you have Apple TV, you can show you through Apple TV your presentation. And I've done them all those ways before. Now, probably one of the most fun parts is developing video. Anybody like to make a video every now and then? Sorry about that. This is one I did on my iPad promoting the New Knowledge series. Probably last year or year before last. The speakers sound pretty good, Jennifer. That's the balls
That's the other box.
That's the little one. And that's just using still pictures and graphics that I created in Pages and Keynote. And now I was able to put all that together into a video. And what I created that in is in iMovie. Anybody have iMovie on their device? iMovie, sometimes, I have found it, when I got mine, I found it free. Sometimes Apple does special time of the year, they might give you a special gift through iTunes, and just so happened I got an email and I jumped at it, and I was able to get iMovie free, and I think it's $4.99 in iTunes. But I can turn movies and videos and pictures into actual video. Just what I did a while ago, that was, you have an option of making a Hollywood-style trailer that's usually about a minute long. I can add text. One time I was unable to go to North Virginia to do a presentation, and what I did was I took my presentation slides, converted that to a WAV file, which is in PairPoint you have that option of converting it. Then what I did was I imported it into iMovie, and I recorded my voice doing each slide, doing each presentation, and timed it, and then saved it as a MP3, and then sent it to the folks that were putting it on, and they could add it right up onto the screen. They imported it right into a PowerPoint slide, and then when it came to my part, all they had to do was run that presentation for 10 minutes. So even though I couldn't physically be there, we were able to put the content, sharing our resources up there. This was a promo for the 2018 Business Challenge.
When you make this, what's the process for timing of changing the pictures and the audio? I know with some of the programs I've used, you've got a bar at the bottom to change
Now,
transitions.
on this particular one, let me bring up iMovie. I used, it's got some presets in there that I could do a trailer. So when I go to create, I use the trailer part. And I can't make a lot of changes other than the text and the photos and so forth. The one that I was telling you about that I did for a presentation I couldn't make, I did that in iMovie. Now I will say it took me a while because timing to go to the next slide and keeping my voice connected was a challenge because it was the first time I had done it. But it is doable.
But they're preset.
If I do it in the movie, if I'm doing it myself, you can make those changes. You can tell it, you can go in there when you're doing it. I don't know that I have one, and I've deleted those pictures that go to it. See, I've deleted those videos, but if you still have it on your computer, then you can go in there on the bottom when you're creating it. I'll just start from the beginning. I'm just putting some videos and pictures up there real quick.
When you're adding music,
MP, MP3, I guess, and I'm trying to remember if it will do Wave, it would, whatever would play on your iPad for music.
Do you have to be really careful with copyrighted?
Yes, and what I use, if I'm using canned music, I will go to sites on the internet that's copyright or copy-free music, and then, yeah, that they've got it. First, one of the things you can do is you can adjust the volume if there's an area that you don't want. So like that's a video, so there's music or there's sounds in the background. If I don't want that, I can turn that off. And now I can add my own music to go in the background. I'll just say for the heck of it. Speakers are good, Jennifer. You did good on this.
Thanks, I tried, Sandy.
So I can keep that going, and I can also change, if I want to have that to turn off at a certain area, I can go in there and edit that to have it fade or to turn off the volume. You see what I'm saying? By the way, that white-headed lady is a cheater hiding eggs.
Don't you be having that?
Yeah, because my grandson, or my nephew, her grandson, hid the eggs, and then he took her around to find the eggs, and guess who won the most and who won the golden egg Sunday? But
Would you call that collusion?
yes, I would call that big-time cheating. But again, you can change the sound background. You can change the, if you want it to turn off there, you can go up to the end and see how I can turn that sound. If I want to stop it, I go to the end of the file to it, and I can bring it back to where I want it to stop at. And I can add text to it. And that'll be on the screen too. So, and when you're done and you're finished with it, now I can save it. I can upload it directly to YouTube if I wanted to right there. I could upload it to Facebook, depending on the size. Now, sometimes there's a limit on it. I can put it on iMovie Theater so that when I bring up my Apple TV, I can watch it on Apple Theater under my account. I can watch my videos there. I could upload it to my iCloud photo sharing, so if I want other family members, my aunt in Texas and my brother in St. Louis to see the cheater in action on Sunday, I could do that. So you've got options. Or I could send it to AirDrop right now to Nita and Jennifer. Because anybody use AirDrop? It's the greatest thing since sliced bread. But that's a little bit on iMovie. And again, you can AirDrop it. You can also put it right up on YouTube, and you've got it. I've already kind of showed you how to create one. And then you can add pictures and video together, add your own background and text, and now you've got a video. Here's an example, and after you create it, again, you can upload it to your YouTube account, you can send it as a text or an email, and then you can also, what we've done a lot of times is a lot of our family is iOS users, so we just put it up in the cloud and invite them to share it. Now, one other thing I wanted to mention about making video on your iPad is, have you all noticed on Facebook now, you'll see people putting videos up that's got text on the top and on the bottom? What that does is that gives you more space on your news feed when you're putting up video content, which means as that's playing, people are going to be able to see how to connect with me. It's just another little way that you can get your message out there. But I did this one. I couldn't go to a workshop again, and I had some partners do it for me. So I just did my opening can thing. Again, it's showing I'm able to put my content and how people can get up with me right there. And that's great if you're putting it up on Facebook again. You can add it. And these are several apps that you can use: a Square Ready Video, Square Size, or Square Fit. I use Square Fit. Has anybody ever heard of Adobe Spark? That's another one that's really good for creating video. I like the price. It's free. It's very easy to create. Again, I can combine video and photos, import music, and they have tons of already copied free music that you can put on the background. Now, I will say the free version has some limitations on the size that you can do, but it's free, and I can put it up there. And this is one I did on Adobe that when we were planting our corn. Okay. Hold it. We like to have fun on the farm. But that was done in Adobe. And then Movie Spirit, by the way, was another one that you can use. Now, our friend Eva Bully swears by Adamonto for creating. They do have a free version that has limitations, just like Adobe Spark. They want to get you suckered in, and then you can't do without it. But you can create video on that. The reason I did that video about 2 years ago, I didn't think my mom would be here. And that's why that spring when she was out working in the garden, I wanted to create that video because it shows that she's a tough little lady. Another app that's kind of cool is a stop motion studio, and where you can create, these little stick figures, and you can make them animated to work or to walk and stuff. Let's see. Here's an example. What you're doing is you're just taking pictures. You're moving them, and then you put it together into a video. Kind of like for kindergarten students or something. Just kind of makes things different. That's another one you can use. Some cool editing things that you can use on your video is text to video. So you've created something maybe in one of the other apps, and you decided, okay, I've got to add some video to it, and you've already converted it to MP3, and you don't want to have to go through all that again. Just bring it up into text video, and then just add your text where you want it in your app or in your video when you've got it. And has anybody ever been shooting a video and you put it, you had your phone like this and you wanted to put it up on YouTube, and it doesn't work very good on YouTube if it's not landscape? Well, you can use crop video. You can take off the upper portion and the bottom portion, of the square for your video, and now you've got a landscape video using crop video. It's a way to get around that, where I made a boo-boo, not thinking, and I can't redo that video, and now I need to do something. And here's a cool app called Videos in Video where you can have two videos playing on one. So you might have the background of us out finding eggs and then have another video on it in the middle of us opening the eggs. So you have two videos playing in one. Does that make sense?
Do you use that a lot?
I haven't, it's just because I've not sit down and tried it. But it's a cool way to add, again, more to your video. Again, all this is being done on your iPad. And yet, another way too, don't forget streaming, which is what we're doing today, to Facebook. This is a powerful way to connect to your audience and expand your audience to share content. And you can stream live to your personal page, to a group page that you're part of, to your business page, whatever it is, you can stream live to it. This is a sample of one that we did last year, but we have found it to be extremely helpful for this program. Now, we may have, 12 or 15 in the live in the session, but we could have 80 to 100 watching it online free. So it's a way to introduce and expand the reach of your audience. One that we used to use, and they've made some changes, but I will share it, is Livestream. You can set up an account with Livestream and video or stream live for 30 days, but then it goes off. They do have different plans that you can use. For a basic plan now, it's $42. You can invite followers. You can have people that follow you, and then whenever you're putting something up, you go live, it will show up. But it's what you get with Facebook, and it's all free. And it's continuing to be on that. You're putting content out there. But I will throw that out there as an option. And you can stream live now to your YouTube channel. Has anybody ever done that? A couple Sundays ago, our kids were doing a special at the beginning of our church service, because I stream our church service on Sundays. And I wanted that special one kind of set aside where it automatically be up there onto our YouTube channel. So I streamed as I normally did to our Facebook page, but then I streamed live. I put my iPhone up on another little attachment, had that up there, and streamed the kids program separately right onto our YouTube channel, so that it was up there and people can access it too that maybe don't have a Facebook account, that are scared of Facebook. There's such people think that it's the worst thing and they won't go on it, but that's another thing you can do is now streaming to Facebook Live. I want to throw this up there just to show you the power of streaming now. Do you all remember last year that April the giraffe was getting ready to have a new baby? And they streamed her every day, all day long, before she gave birth and then afterwards. And for 16-month pregnancy, she had 232 million live views, which added up to 7.6 million minutes of live watching time as of April last year. Now, does that show you the power? And I will admit, I probably watch more content on my iPad than I do through my DirecTV at night, my TV, through YouTube, through Facebook Live, other things. So I see a change, a shift in how people are using the internet for entertainment now. And it's cheaper because it's free out there. Some equipment needed if you want to stream live. Of course, you use your iPad. You can have it. There's a thing that we have that we can put our iPad right up there and stream live to Facebook. You can also use your smartphone. You can use a GoPro camera, or today what we're using is a Mevo camera. But Nita is, I guess, she's the not publisher, not the conductor, what am I thinking? Producer where she can move it around to whatever screen that she wants right with her fingertips, right there. And that's what I use at church, so that I can go back and forth to the minister, I can zoom out on the audience, I can zoom in up on the screen on TV, the choir, whatever it is. And I can do it all with one camera, using the Mevo and controlling it with my iPad. Here's some examples if you do streaming that you might want. If you're going to be doing interviews or you're a lot of noise in the environment you're at, you might want to have a mic, a lapel mic. You can get something like that for less than $10 off of Amazon. If you need a longer cord, you've got that. I think that's a 20-foot cord. You can get a tripod that your iPad will fit in. You can even have a little thing that you put your iPad on, and it can be on, or not your iPad, but your iPhone, and it'll clip right on, and you can have two things streaming at the same time. Or you can use a boom mic, what we have today, to stream. Now, we've been taking a lot of photos, what we want to do with them. There's a lot of photo editing apps out there, but I'll just share with some of those that I use the most. Probably my favorite and most used, and I waited and searched for years to try to find, is there's times where there's a photo and you really need to take something out of that photo for whatever reason it is. I finally found this app a couple of years ago called Knockout. You can't beat the price, it's free. But I'll show you what I did in this case. This is my little buddy Brady. This was a couple of years ago. He used to sit with me in church all the time. He goes to class now. He's a big boy. But he is a basketball nut. And his dad's a basketball coach, go figure. So I wanted to take a picture of him because I thought it was neat. He was at with his dad at a ball game, and he was acting like he was coaching. So, he's writing down his stats. So what I did was take that photo using Knockout. I took out all the background of that photo, and then I went on the internet and found one of the North Carolina basketball team, and then I plugged him right into that, like he's on the sideline as a coach. Needless to say, when I sent it to my little buddy, he was very happy and loved that photo. But that's an example of what you could use it. Another thing that I used is my mother did not have a picture of her oldest brother and his family that were all together. So what I did for her is I was able to find 3 photos. And what I started doing is taking out parts of all those photos of just the family. And then what I was able to do with just those with my uncle, his wife, and my 2 cousins, and plot them all into a photo together for Mom.
Do you need like a pen or something like that when you're doing the knock?
You can use your stylus if you want, but see, as you're doing it, you can enlarge that photo where you can get right down to each little pixel and clean it up. After you've done the major, I started expanding it up to try to clean it up. There's also an app called Superimpose where I can put all those together, this is an example of Superimpose, where you can take multiple photos and put them together and add text, and now I've created a new graphic. Another one that comes in handy that I use is Sketch, where let's say that you have a picture and you want to put emphasis on it, that notice that the trash was not picked up in that photo, and I want to put an arrow, and I want to put a circle around it, and I want to put text on it. I can do that with this app, and by the way, it's free. And I can even change the color. It's great if you're having an event and you need to include a map for people with directions. I can go to Google and take a big picture of the location, and then I can add text and arrows and so forth to it. And then another one is taking a group of pictures and making a live collage. For my brother's birthday, what I did was I took pictures of him when he was a snotty-nosed brat and around, and then created one photo, and I can then send it to Walgreens and have it printed, and he's got something he can put in a frame. A couple others, PicMonkey will allow you to take a picture and add special effects to it. And then I mentioned earlier about Photo Shrinker. This has saved my butt several times on pictures, images that were too large. I can go there and use Photo Shrinker, and then I can reduce the size of that to where it will fit for what application it may be. Another neat thing is curved text, where you can take a picture and you can use different types of curvature that you can add to a picture. You can have it going sideways, around, what have you, and add that as a text onto a photograph. Just kind of makes it look different. Here's an example of a crazy shape that you can do it in. And then one other one that I've used before is called Over, where you can take a picture and you can add text to it and then resave it as an image. You got any other questions? You got ideas now how you could use some of these things? A few other things that I will say for tips is, if it's important, back it up. Make sure it's being backed up to iCloud, or if it's real important, you might want to use Google Drive or Dropbox or Box.net to save that, so that you're 100% sure that if something happened, you've got it. And a lot of times, probably more times than not, the file size is too large, and I need to share it with someone. I can upload it to a cloud service and then just share a link to where they can access it. You got that option. And if you're searching for an app and you've not automatically found it, I bet it's out there. It's just a matter of digging down and finding it. I will caution you, before you download it, especially if you're buying it, look at the reviews and see what other people that have tried it, so that you're not stuck on it. But that's pretty much all that I have. Anybody got any questions or anything else you would like for me to show you on creating content? I thought you was. So you can create documents, flyers, you can create video, you can make edits to photos that you've been taking with your iPad or different devices. So you've got it. There's all kinds of ways you can create content out there to be able to share.
We've got a guru we can call if we need some help.
You can call me. I'm there if you need me. But, yes.
You live stream all these presentations. Where are they archived, that if you want to come back and look at this again sometime, that not only people who've watched now, but in the future, somebody, yeah, you should have seen this presentation, go where? Where do we tell them?
Two options, either to the Virginia Highlands Small Business Incubator's Facebook page. This is where we stream it live, so Facebook keeps that. It's in the, it stays on the news feed. And the second option is, after today, what I will do is I will download that video from Facebook that I've done today. Then I will edit it. I'll put a cover page to it, maybe even put captions to it and a closing page, and then I upload that to YouTube. And we have a YouTube channel called New Knowledge. That's hard to remember, isn't it? And we've got probably 90 plus videos now up there. From probably the first one was Jim Maxwell from Virginia, from the Bristol Health Courier, who did a workshop on how to develop a press release to get notice. To today, I mean, last week we had one on, what you need to have on your Facebook page, and we've had video. We've done sessions on setting up QuickBooks, using Excel, to employer law, you name it. It's all up there.
Even ones on stress or?
Yeah, stress release. Nobody here is ever under stress, but that's one of the things that makes this program different than anybody else. Is it's free, it's consistent, and we have it 2 ways that you can access it. If you want to have your piece of chocolate cake at 2 a.m. in your pajamas and you want to watch a workshop, you've got access to it. And this was something that was created 2014 as a follow-up to the Business Challenge to help continue that nurturing of entrepreneurs and existing businesses, and it's grown. And a lot of times we'll have people from East Tennessee to Richmond to Lynchburg
And
to
so
Northern
North
Virginia.
Carolina.
We've even had organizations, People Inc. has an office in Northern Virginia, and they've had opened up their conference room, and they have it playing live, and if someone doesn't have internet at their house, they can come and watch that, whatever the session is they may want. So, yeah. That's more than you probably want to know, but in case someone online didn't know it. But any other questions? Yes.
Does iWorks come preloaded on iPads, or do you have to?
It is pretty much on all, if you have an iPad 1 or 2 generation, it's probably not, but I'm pretty sure all the newer ones have access to it. It's not preloaded, you just have to go to iTunes and download it. Because I remember when I first bought it, each one was $9.99, and now it's free. Yeah, and there is a service, trying to remember, I get their emails every night. If there's an app that comes free, they send me an email every night and list some of these apps that I showed you that might have been $9.99 for today only is free. If you want that, and I can't remember, why is it you see something every day but you tuned it out where you can set up for that to receive it. That's how I did iMovie. I saved money on that, and I'm all about saving $1 or $2. Well, I thank you for coming. Next week we're not having one, but the following week we have United Way is doing a workshop on grants, how to find them and how to apply. So that should be interesting to a lot of people. But thanks for coming, and share this with someone else.
Thank you, Sandy.
Thank
Great
you.
job.